All right, buckle up everyone, because today we're taking a deep dive into the world of coach building.
Ooh, exciting.
We'll be using these really awesome resources from RoleCatcher, like their career guide and interview guide.
And even a sneak peek at their platform itself,
Yeah,
right?
exactly. All to make sure you're prepped for that coach building interview, like a finely tuned engine.
Love that analogy.
And, coach building is so much more than just fixing cars.
Oh, absolutely.
It's like, I don't know, automotive sculpture, handcrafted beauty and functionality.
You hit the nail on the head. A coach builder isn't just a mechanic. They're like artists.
Right, taking those raw materials and shaping them into these incredible vehicles, it's amazing.
Such a cool blend of art and engineering.
Okay, but before we get too deep into interview prep, let's make sure we're all on the same page.
Sounds good.
The RoleCatcher Career Guide has this super clear definition.
Okay, let's hear it.
A coach builder, and I quote, designs, fabricates, and assembles vehicle bodies and frames.
So they're involved in the whole process.
Yeah, and they often work on like specialized or custom vehicles.
That's so cool. You're not just working on mass-produced cars. You're creating something unique.
Exactly, and that's a big part of what makes this career so fascinating.
For sure.
The career guide highlights the high level of creativity. You get to work with your hands.
Which is always a plus.
And you have the satisfaction of seeing a project through from start to finish.
You get those aha moments.
Oh, totally. You're all about those, right? But let's be real. Every job has its challenges.
That's true.
And the guide does mention the work can be pretty demanding. And there's potential for instability.
Especially if you're freelancing.
Yeah, exactly.
That's why being prepared for the interview is so crucial, you know?
Oh, absolutely.
It's not just about showing off your skills. It's about showing your passion and understanding of the field.
And RoleCatcher's AI can actually give you a real advantage here.
Oh, really? How so?
Their platform is so cool, it analyzes job descriptions and suggests ways to tailor your answers.
Whoa, so it highlights the skills employers are looking for.
Exactly. We'll dive deeper into that a little later, but it's seriously game-changing.
That's amazing, like having a personal coach in your corner.
Okay, so are you ready to get into some interview questions?
Hit me with them.
All right, so the RoleCatcher Interview Guide has some real-world examples.
Okay, perfect.
And we're going to break them down one by one. How does that sound?
Let's do it.
Okay, first up, what inspired you to become a coach builder?
Seems pretty straightforward.
It is, but it's also your chance to connect with the interviewer on a personal level.
Show them who you are.
Exactly. Don't just say, I like cars. Share a specific moment or an experience that sparked your passion.
Like a story.
Yeah, like, was it seeing a beautifully restored classic, maybe a project you worked on in school, or even a mentor?
I get it.
You want to weave in those skills that are relevant to coach building, too.
Okay, so like problem solving, attention to detail.
Right. The interviewer wants to see the connection between your passion and your abilities.
It all makes sense now.
Now, they might ask a follow-up, like, what kind of coach building projects are you most drawn to?
Oh, interesting.
Yeah, so be ready to talk about classic cars, custom builds, maybe even sustainable transportation.
Whatever gets you really excited about coach building.
Exactly. And that's where RoleCatcher's AI feedback can be super helpful, by the way.
Oh, right. Tell me more about that.
It can analyze your answers and actually suggest ways to make them even stronger.
No way.
And tailor them to the specific job you're applying for. Pretty cool, huh?
That's so helpful.
All right, moving on to question number 2. Can you explain the process of coach building?
Okay, I like this one.
From design to production.
So this is where I show off my knowledge.
This is where you get to showcase your passion for the craft.
Awesome.
Imagine you're giving a tour of a coach building workshop.
Okay, I can see it.
Walk the interviewer through each stage, starting with the design concept.
Gotcha.
Like, how do you translate a client's vision into a plan you can actually work with?
Yeah, that makes sense.
Then talk about fabrication.
Okay, so how you shape the panels and create the body of the vehicle.
Exactly. And don't forget about assembly.
Bringing all the pieces together.
Right. You can even mention specific tools and techniques to show off your expertise a little.
Like what kind of tools?
Well, for instance, you could say, we use an English wheel to shape those complex curves. Or
That sounds impressive.
TIG welding gives us the precision we need for those intricate joints.
Dropping those specific details shows you really know your stuff.
Exactly. And be prepared for follow-up questions, too.
Like what?
They might ask about your experience with different materials, like aluminum or carbon fiber.
Makes sense.
Or they could ask you to elaborate on a particular technique you mentioned.
So the more in-depth knowledge I have, the better.
Yeah, the more you can demonstrate your expertise, the better.
Okay, got it.
Now, question 3 is all about the tools of the trade.
Okay, this is where I can geek out a bit.
What kind of tools and equipment are required for coach building?
Let's go.
This is your chance to really get into the specifics.
Love it.
Go beyond just listing the basics. Talk about those specialized tools you love to use.
Okay, so give me an example.
Instead of just saying welding torch,
Oh.
you could say, I'm proficient in MIG and TIG welding, and I prefer using a gas lens.
Oh, I see. Get specific.
Yeah. Or instead of just hammer, you could mention different types, like a planishing hammer for smoothing.
Or a body hammer for shaping panels.
Exactly. And don't forget about safety gear.
Oh, right. That's important.
Mentioning things like welding helmets and respirators shows that you prioritize safety.
Which is crucial in any workshop.
They might even ask about specific precautions you take when using a particular tool.
So I need to show that I'm knowledgeable about safety.
Exactly. It shows you're committed to working safely, which is really important to employers.
Got it.
All right, and that brings us to question number 4. How do you ensure the coach meets safety and quality standards?
Okay, this is getting serious.
This one's about more than just knowing the rules. It's about your dedication to excellence and safety.
Showing that I care about the final product.
You can talk about specific quality control checks you perform at each stage of the process.
Like what?
You can mention using measuring tools to ensure everything's aligned, or inspections to catch imperfections.
Makes sense.
And when it comes to safety, you can highlight your knowledge of standards and best practices.
Okay, so be prepared to talk about those in detail.
Yeah, they might even ask about a specific safety standard or challenge you faced.
Oh, like a tricky situation I had to handle.
Exactly. Be ready to share an example of how you identified and addressed a potential safety issue.
So show them I can problem solve and that I'm committed to safety.
Exactly. Now, let's shift gears a bit and talk about time management.
Oh.
Question 5 asks, how do you manage your time and prioritize tasks when working on multiple projects?
That's a good one. Things can get pretty hectic in a coach building workshop.
This is where those organizational skills come in handy.
Absolutely.
So do you use to-do lists or project management software? Talk about how you stay organized.
And make sure everything stays on track.
They might ask a follow-up question like, tell me about a time you had to adjust your schedule.
Oh, like when a rush order came in or there was an unexpected delay?
Right. Think about an example that showcases your flexibility, your ability to adapt.
Show them I can handle those curveballs.
And this is another spot where RoleCatcher's AI can really help.
Oh yeah, how so?
It can personalize your response by analyzing the specific job requirements.
That's amazing.
And then suggest ways to emphasize your time management skills in a way that resonates with that employer.
So smart.
Okay, question 6 is all about staying ahead of the game. How do you stay up to date with the latest?
Coach building technologies and techniques.
That's right. The industry's always evolving.
It moves so fast.
So you need to show your commitment to continuous learning.
Absolutely.
Tell them how you stay informed about new materials, techniques, technologies, all of it.
So, like, do I attend industry conferences?
Yes. Do you take online courses, read trade publications?
Maybe I follow blogs or listen to podcasts like this one.
Exactly. And don't be afraid to get specific. Mention a recent innovation that caught your eye.
Or a new technique I'm dying to learn.
They might even ask, how would you apply this new tech to a specific project?
Okay, so I need to show them I'm not just keeping up, but thinking critically.
And RoleCatcher's AI can actually suggest additional resources or examples, too.
Wow, it's like having a research assistant.
All right, last question for this part.
Hit me.
How do you handle difficult clients or projects?
Ooh, that's a tricky one.
Let's be honest. Every job has its challenging moments.
Yeah, for sure.
But this is your chance to show that you can handle them professionally.
Grace under pressure.
The key here is to focus on solutions, not just the problems themselves.
Okay, I like that.
Share an example of a time when you faced a demanding client or a project that went off track.
A real life story.
Yeah. What steps did you take to address the issue? How did you communicate with everyone involved?
And what was the outcome? That's important.
They might ask, what did you learn from that experience?
Or how I'd approach a similar situation differently now.
So be prepared to reflect and show that you've grown from those challenges.
Got it. Always learning and improving.
And that's a wrap for part 1. We've covered a lot of ground, but we're just getting started.
Can't wait for more.
Stay tuned for part 2, where we'll tackle even more questions.
Awesome.
And dive deeper into how RoleCatcher can help you really stand out from the crowd.
I'm ready.
All right, let's take a quick break and we'll be right back.
Welcome back, everyone, to our deep dive all about coach building. We left off talking about some really great interview questions and how RoleCatcher can help you prepare.
And now we're going to jump right back in. Sound good?
Sounds great.
Okay, so this next question might not apply to everyone listening,
Okay.
but it's one that comes up a lot.
Yeah.
How do you ensure your team is motivated and working effectively?
That's an important one, especially as you gain more experience.
Right. And even if you haven't been in a formal leadership role,
Yeah.
think about times when you've maybe led a project or taken initiative,
Makes sense.
because this is your chance to show off those teamwork and leadership skills.
Okay, so what kind of things should I focus on?
Think about how you approach motivation and collaboration.
Mm-hmm.
Do you communicate clearly? Do you create a supportive environment for your team?
Yeah, and delegating tasks effectively.
Exactly. Giving everyone a chance to shine.
They might ask about a time I had to motivate someone who was struggling.
Oh, that's a good one. Or how you resolved a conflict within a team.
So be ready to share specific examples.
And this is another area where RoleCatcher's AI feedback can be a game changer.
Right. How so?
It can analyze your answer and give you feedback based on what employers are looking for.
In terms of leadership qualities.
Exactly, for coach building specifically.
That's awesome.
All right, ready for question 9?
Lay it on me.
It's another big one. Can you describe a challenging coach building project you've worked on?
Okay, I've got a few I can think of.
And how you overcame the challenges, of course.
Right, of course.
This is your time to shine. Your star moment.
Your star moment.
Situation, task, action, result.
Ah, got it.
Think about a project that really tested your skills. Maybe it had a complex design.
Or a tight deadline.
Or a material that was difficult to work with, you know?
Yeah, I've definitely been there.
Walk the interviewer through the situation, the specific challenges.
Okay.
Then explain the tasks you're responsible for.
And the actions I took.
Exactly. Did you research new techniques, collaborate with others, get creative?
Problem solving in action.
And most importantly, don't forget the result. How did your actions lead to success?
Did I meet the deadline, exceed expectations, all of that?
Right. Quantify those achievements whenever possible.
Makes sense.
They might ask, what did you learn from this experience?
Reflecting on those lessons.
So think about what you took away from those challenges, how you grew.
I'm always learning, that's for sure.
And before we move on, let's remember, RoleCatcher's AI can help tailor your answers here too.
Oh, right. How so?
If the job description emphasizes problem solving, it can highlight how your story shows that off.
So smart, making sure my answers are laser focused.
Okay, now let's talk about something people often forget. Asking questions at the end of the interview.
Oh yeah, that's important.
It's your chance to learn more about the company, the team, the role itself.
And it shows you're interested.
Exactly. So think about what you really want to know.
That's what?
You could ask about professional development opportunities or the company culture.
Or even the biggest challenges the team is facing.
But don't ask things you could easily find on Google.
Oh, right. That makes sense.
Show them you've done your research, ask insightful questions.
Questions that show I understand the industry.
Now, let's tackle a question that can make people nervous.
Okay, which one?
Tell me about your weaknesses.
Ugh, that one.
It's a classic, but it doesn't have to be a trap.
How do I handle it?
Be honest and self-aware, but strategic.
Okay.
Don't pick a weakness that's essential for the job.
Got it.
Choose something you're actively working on improving.
Oh, I see, like turn it into a positive?
Exactly. You could say, I tend to get hyper-focused on details.
Which can make it hard to delegate?
Right. But you're also saying, I'm learning to trust my team more.
Show them I'm aware of it and I'm working on it.
RoleCatcher's AI can even help you frame it as a strength,
Whoa, that's cool.
emphasizing your commitment to growth.
That's helpful.
Okay, another tricky one. What are your salary expectations?
Oh, that's always a tough one.
Be prepared for this one. Do your research.
Research salary ranges.
Look up industry standards in your area, factor in your experience.
Okay.
During the interview, be confident, state your worth, but be flexible.
Open to negotiation.
You could say, based on my research, I'm looking for a salary in this range.
But emphasize that I'm more interested in finding the right fit.
Exactly.
Yeah.
And contributing to a company that values your skills.
That's a good approach.
All right, let's wrap up this part with some final thoughts on making a strong impression.
Okay, I'm all ears.
We've talked about how crucial preparation is. Use those RoleCatcher resources.
Practice answers, get feedback.
But beyond that, remember to connect with the interviewer.
On a human level.
Show your passion, your enthusiasm. Be genuine.
Be myself.
Be confident, be prepared, and you'll be well on your way to landing that dream job.
I like that dream job.
Welcome back to our Coach Building Deep Dive. We've talked about nailing those interview questions, showcasing your skills, and even how to handle those tricky questions that always seem to pop up.
Now it's time to talk about making a lasting impression and really seal the deal in that interview.
Because it's more than just answering questions, right?
Exactly. It's about thinking about your whole career as a coach builder, where you want to go.
And the career guide actually outlines a pretty typical career path.
It does.
It can give you a framework to think about your future in this field.
Oh, that's cool.
Usually it starts with an apprenticeship.
Okay, so learning from the pros.
Yeah, getting those hands-on skills.
That's so
And
important.
then you move up to a junior coach builder, take on more responsibility.
Right, and maybe start to specialize.
Exactly. Like custom bodywork or restoration. The guide even mentions working with new tech as you gain experience.
Oh, wow, cutting edge stuff.
And eventually you could become a senior coach builder,
Leading projects, mentoring apprentices.
contributing to new techniques even.
That's awesome. So much room for growth.
And you could use these insights in your interview answers too.
Oh, good idea.
Like if they ask about your long-term goals, you could say, I'm really passionate about restoration,
And how I see myself specializing in that area.
right? And I'm eager to learn about new technologies. Show them you're thinking ahead.
Connecting my goals with the company's focus.
Now, something else that can set you apart is showing that you know the company, the industry.
Doing your research, right?
Yeah. You're not just applying for any job. You want the right job.
One that fits my interests and values.
So research the company beforehand, their website, social media, all of it.
Get a feel for their projects, their clients.
And weave in those details when you answer questions.
Okay, I see.
If they're known for electric vehicles, mention your interest in sustainability.
I'm excited to contribute to that field.
Exactly. It shows you're genuinely interested.
Passion goes a long way.
Speaking of passion, let's not forget those nonverbal cues.
Body language.
You can have amazing answers, but how you present yourself matters too.
Make eye contact, smile,
Relax, be confident, show them you're truly interested.
and listen attentively.
Oh, that's so important. Really listen to what they're saying.
Ask clarifying questions. Tailor my responses.
It shows you're engaged, that you respect their time.
Good point.
Now, one last time, let's mention RoleCatcher and that AI feedback.
Always helpful.
It's not just about grammar and word choice. It analyzes your answers for clarity,
Conciseness, relevance.
making sure your answers are impactful and tailored to the job.
Like having a coach right there with me.
And their Copilot AI subscription takes it even further.
Even more personalized.
Tailored suggestions specifically for coach building.
That's incredible.
So use those resources, practice your answers, get that feedback, but most importantly,
Be myself.
let your passion shine through, show them why you'd be a great fit.
I can do that.
And with that, we've come to the end of our Coach Building Deep Dive. We hope you found it helpful as you prepare for your interviews.
Remember, the right preparation, a passion for the craft, and the right resources can make all the difference.
Good luck out there, everyone. Go build something amazing.
Yeah.